Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Hey guys, it's the AwesomeCast. We are back, and we do awesome things here. We talk about nerdy things, we get geeky, we let ourselves get geeky with no excuses here on this show. None at all. None at all. As you can see behind me, Rob De La Cretaz joined us on video.
Hi.
You got a great shot there. I love the use of white space in your shot, sir.
It's nice. It's not even gray, but it looks gray, and I don't know why.
Is that like perfect gray, or
It looks like a really nice 50% gray, but it's actually baby blue.
Are you wearing clothes? What's going on?
I'm naked at the moment. I'm going to do the entire podcast naked.
Did we just catch you getting out of the shower?
Oh, why, hello there.
Screen. You'll see. I've got this. This is what I got. See this thing?
I don't want to know what that is.
That looks dirty. Okay. Anyways,
Everything looks great over here, but you know what I'm drinking. More importantly.
Okay.
What you sipping on?
There he comes.
I made an ice cream and Red Bull float.
That sounds disgusting.
It is amazing.
That sounds-
If you enjoy the taste of Red Bull,
I don't.
it will, for the rare people who do, such as myself, it is the tastiest thing in the world. And I had a pretzel for food today, so to catch up on my calorie count, Red Bull ice cream float.
I'm just putting this out there. I can't even use the word disgusting.
Disgusting.
So I'm just going to call it disgusting.
It's
I'm
it gets
taking the
frothy.
D out.
It's Edie's Samoa Girl Scout cookie flavor.
Why would you do that with Red Bull? That's a delicious ice cream. Why would you do that?
It's really tasty.
I'm certain it isn't.
I was going to be grumpy pants if I didn't get this, so you should be happy that I'm drinking it.
No, actually, I'm mad that you're not grumpy pants because I want you to be really angry because we probably have some angry things to talk about this week.
Probably. I mean, there's a lot of hate going on in the computer world.
So I want you to be at your hatefulness, and you drinking Red Bull and ice cream would make me incredibly hateful, but you apparently a pleasant individual.
Yes, that's how that works.
All right.
Balances me out.
Oh, there you see, replacing the Chachi on the couch is AJ.
I'm
How
not
you doing?
high. I'm not high.
Not
Don't do
high.
drugs.
No,
Don't
don't
do
do drugs,
drugs.
kids. Virtualpotholes.wordpress.com. That's where you need to go now.
That is correct. I blog nerdier things there. Still have the eating blog, so if you enjoy watching what I eat, you can still read that one. But this one's where I actually talk about the things we talk about on the show, so there's symmetry and a circularness to it.
And that's
Hey, AJ.
Hey.
Speaking of meat, it's a shame you weren't at our at Fatheads last night because the wings were amazing.
Time out real quick. Time out. I wasn't talking about meat for like the last 15 minutes, but all right.
I'm just saying.
Just bringing it around. Yeah.
Just wrapping it up.
Yeah, I was at the gym last night, so
Ooh.
not happy.
That's AJEats.wordpress.com.
That's AJEats.wordpress.com if you want to know what I'm
trying
eating.
to bring it back around.
So, yes.
Anyways. So, yeah, we're going to get geeky here. It's, wow. If you want to contact us on anything we're talking about, you agree with, want to add, comment on, hit us up at contact@awesomecast.com. You can also hit us up on Twitter at AwesomeCast. Hello.
It's fine.
Hello. It's time. Is it time?
It's time.
Microwave's done.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is really funny because that event wasn't supposed to happen for like another 2 weeks. But that's cool.
Interesting. That's
cool.
what you do running beta software. You can also call us at 724-258-CAST. That's 252-2278. And look us up on iTunes, Mediafly, Roku boxes. Like that.
Boxes?
Boxes? Boxes?
By the way, you said
Or
his
Boxy.
Twitter name wrong the entire time and he never corrected you.
What'd I do? What?
You said it was with a K. It's with a CH.
No, the K is the public one.
Is it?
Yes.
It isn't.
That's how it was explained to me.
Huh.
What's happening?
Well, I just ruined. Sorry, Brian.
There we go.
Sorry, Brian. Oh, no. I'm sorry. You're right. It used to be
Whoops.
Dab of Text with a CH underscore pub. And I couldn't.
Okay.
Now, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it's with a K. Who knew?
There you go.
I didn't.
But
Fair
please
enough.
leave comments on that Blip TV YouTube as well, as Chachi did. Chachi, not here. He's at home watching Power Rangers on Netflix from his couch all week long. because he had surgery Monday. Best of luck to him
Yeah,
getting
well
better.
soon. I think we need to get armbands.
Armbands? Chachi armbands?
Black armbands.
I wonder if we can fashion an armband out of materials here in the studio.
Chachi, you're missed.
Maybe if, there you go.
We'll never forget you.
Pour one out.
Forever.
Chachi.
Until like next week.
Chach one forever.
Chach one.
Chach
No,
one.
Chach one.
He's been blogging, though. There's a lot of stuff over there, Chachi says.
Yeah, so if you go to Chachi Says on net, read his blog. Like you might read mine.
There you go. But he, like he said, he did email.
He did email. Can I read the email?
Yeah, you can. And Riz actually was also commented on, I think, the subject that he gets into here about his comment was, can we have a parade on AwesomeCast yet for what was announced in California? Go ahead and email, sir.
All right. Hold on here. Let me get this mic a little closer. All right. Hey guys, I wanted to email to talk about California's failure. The Supreme Court ruled against the state of California wanting to limit the sale of violent video games to children, but it's not all what you think I would say. It says gonna, but I said would because he would say it if he were here.
Oh, he was definitely already on the post-surgery drugs here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh,
Look at the spelling.
Yeah. It goes. The spelling goes downhill from here. So unlike Chachi and Riz emails on another show that we do immediately after this, I'm going to fix his. This is good and bad. Good because it will hopefully prevent future laws in bans of video games just because the government feels like it. They need to show that their laws do not belong in my games. It also shows that it is not the government's job to do the parents' job. The parents are the ones that should decide which games their kids should or should not play. It's bad because more crimes and actions taken by kids will be blamed on the content of video games. It leaves the potential for another Columbine, but those are just my thoughts. Sorry for the typos. Meds are kicking in. Morphin Power Rangers. Chachi.
Fantastic. So yeah, Supreme Court pretty much said freedom of speech. You can't ban violent video games in California.
Yep.
And there you go.
Yeah, so I can see... I see both the Chachi's points here. It's good, government staying out of the public, or staying out of the personal lives of people and making parents do the parents' job. That's great. I still think he's wrong on the video games will always be blamed, whether the government limits them or not. It's the same reason why cars get blamed for all kinds of accidents. Speed doesn't kill, sudden stops do. So, it's in that same vein. Guns don't kill people, people who pull triggers kill people. That sort of vein.
Movies will always be blamed. Pop culture will always be blamed.
Right.
Your parents will always be blamed.
Yeah, I mean it's up to the parents to take care of their kids. If you don't want your kids playing violent video games, don't let your kids play violent video games. Simple. If you rely on the government to do those sorts of things, you are affecting people who are grown enough to make decisions to do those sorts of things. And speaking of violence out of video games, I had a fly problem and then used my Call of Duty skills to eliminate the fly problem.
Did you throw a grenade at the fly?
Nope, used my knife. Except instead of a knife, I used junk mail. So that is not somewhere you put the camera shot. Ta-da!
We're using this shot later. I keep dumping to his crotch.
Yeah, you
I'm
keep
sorry
dumping
about
to that, and that is not the shot you want this time.
No.
Dump it to the junk. Don't dump to the junk.
But this is an industry that, for the most part, is attempting to self-regulate itself. A lot of times, I mean, you can't. It asks you if you buy a MA-17 game at Walmart for ID.
But then it's up to the cashier at said Walmart
to care.
Care. And that's the big difference.
Yeah, but how many underage kids have been let into a rated R movie? Come on.
Oh, plenty.
Yeah.
How about this one? Same thing. Same general thing. I went to Walmart to buy paint thinner for my dad when we were cleaning a deck.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me buy it because I wasn't 18 because they thought I was going to use it to huff. And so I went to a local hardware store where they know me and my dad and bought it there. And I thought about it and I said, okay, what happens when I turn 18 and I still want to huff paint thinner? Like,
huff all the paint thinner
I can huff all the paint thinner I want. I'm an adult. I can make decisions. But apparently, once you're under the age of 18, you can't do that. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you can't buy any spray paint until you're 18. You can't buy lighter fluid until you're 18. I don't think you can buy any containers of fuel until you're 18.
And these are
I think you can buy an empty container.
Yeah, an empty container, but you can't buy anything that
And these are knee-jerk reactions to problems. Like, the kids are going and doing this. Kids are being violated and having violent video games because their parents are buying them anyway. So let's ban them. Let's make it. Let's get rid of it for the people that are responsible of whatever age.
Right.
You know?
Right. It's up to parents and grown adults to be responsible for their children. Mm-hmm. Period. End of story. And this has been the same thing that's been going on for years. I can't even remember because he was such a jerk, and I can't remember the guy's name. Who was the lawyer that was in Florida that was effectively suing anybody and everybody you could for the content and violent video games?
Oh, that guy.
Not Lieberman. Sorry, chat room, help me out. Jack Thompson.
Jack Thompson.
Yeah.
Who I think last I knew was being disbarred.
Yep. Jack Thompson got disbarred because he filed so many frivolous lawsuits. But Jack Thompson is also the reason for one of the greatest charities and on the internet, because the Penny Arcade, another website on the internet, that guy, Jack Thompson, pointed out or attempted to make the point that all people who play violent video games end up becoming psychopaths and crazy people and just want to destroy the world. And then the people at Penny Arcade said, no, we're not. Let's kill them with kindness. So they started this charity to put video games into hospitals. This should sound familiar to those of you who have listened to the show and to our comrade Chachi, who did effectively the same thing, where they took donations and put up an Amazon wish list of all the video games, systems, games, controllers, board games, toys, all that stuff. Put together a giant Amazon wish list originally for just Seattle Children's Hospital, and they filled a swimming pool. And it's gotten bigger and bigger to the point now where they now have a black tie event where everybody gets dressed up, and they auction off once in a lifetime things like, hey, you could play Halo with the guys who made the game, or hey, here's a tour of the Microsoft Xbox Studios, or hey, we'll put you into one of our comic strips.
And just looking at it, I didn't notice this. We're on the video here. We're showing a map from the childsplaycharity.org. Yep. Look at all of the places that they donate to, including other countries now. Like there's Canada,
Egypt.
There's UK. Is that Egypt?
That is Egypt.
Wow, Australia. Yep. I mean, it has gotten big. Oh wait, what's this? Total contributions: $2,000,000, 294,317,
and that was this year alone.
That was just this year.
And last year they did they think they did 1.5 million last year. The year before they did that, to the point where they now have a full-time person dedicated to running that year round.
Yeah.
They used to just do it just at Christmas time, and literally, and Chachi can attest to this. Video games and games helping kids. It's literally when kids go into the hospital and they're going in for a terminal illness. All they want to do is be normal. That's it. They don't care what their disease is. They just want to be normal. And this is the sort of thing, this hatred of violent video games, it started one of the best charities on the planet. And it's through that sort of thing. So, you can hate on violent video games all you want to. Video game people people who play video games are not crazy violent people. I played Call of Duty for hours on end. It was literally to the point where...
And you're a normal, well-adjusted contributor to society?
I am. I have a
Don't listen to him on Wrestling Mayhem Show.
No, don't.
I will admit that I've played Need for Speed a few times and then drove a little fast in my car.
Yes, but Rob, speed doesn't kill. Sudden stops do.
I definitely ran over at least 10 old people in the process.
Well, then, bonus points for you.
Well, hey guys, speaking of other people doing rash things, let's nice. This is good. Rob, I think you contributed this next story.
Oh, that funny story.
Yeah, remember that time? Remember back in the day?
Yeah. Remember that time, that faithful day? It was kind of like, it was a warm day a few months ago when, a bunch of people at Sony, say a really good percentage of their security team, they got a little phone call from up top, said, "Hey guys, sorry, no job. You're done."
Hey, remember when?
Yeah, remember when that happened? And it was actually mostly the employees in their network operations center.
Interesting.
Which, according to a confidential witness, is the same group that is responsible for preparing for and responding to, say, what are they called? Security breaches, right? And who ostensibly has the skills to bring that network's security technology up to date. And then remember when, like, a week later, people just started hacking the crap out of Sony? Wasn't that funny?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was funny, wasn't it? So yeah, some witnesses came out, some confidential sources from within Sony have come out in the class action lawsuit cases that are floating around Sony's head at the moment, and said that Sony basically laid off the people that could have prevented the attacks that led to the loss of all the customers' data, and could have then, if even they had lost at that point, they could have been the ones to fortify the network after the fact. But unfortunately, they fired everybody who could have saved their butt, and that's why it took so long for Sony to get back online before they got hacked again and again and again. Isn't that funny?
That's hilarious.
It really is funny. So that lesson learned: don't fire your security staff, idiot.
Don't fire all of them all at once.
Yeah,
like have some good reason other than just we need to save money. You know, those sorts of things. Hey, this is another one of those stories that they always tell about disgruntled security systems administrators who go a little crazy.
Yeah,
they're a little disgruntled with their former employer.
Yeah. So. Do you remember? There was a story. It was a few years ago, but it was the sysadmin for some city or state's municipal system.
Yeah,
was it San Francisco?
Was it San Francisco?
I think it was San Francisco.
I think it was San Francisco.
Yeah, and they laid him off, and on his way out, he locked everything down and refused to give them any of the passwords because he said that none of them were competent enough to run his software.
Yep. That's the sort of thing that we talk about with angry system administrators.
Yes.
And as somebody who is a system administrator, you get the odd eye whenever whenever you see a request for whatever that person leaves. That is a higher priority request than anything else. You lock their account the heck out. That's not to say that administrator may or may not know accounts that have all the sorts of access that they used to have that were service accounts, or may know backdoors in the systems that they pointed out but then were never fixed. Those are the sorts of things that happen, and I'm sure that guy knew all of them. And I'm sure the Sony team knew all of them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stunning.
Speaking of hackers, the big news coming out this week is GeoHot's been working for Facebook.
Yeah.
For a good while now.
Man, I'm mad about that.
Now, for those that don't know, GeoHot's the one that Sony had been going after because he had code for that hacks the PlayStation 3 that opens it up.
He cracked the PS3's encryption.
Yes.
He unlocked the PS3.
Now
which was supposedly impossible, and he went, "Yeah, it took me like a day."
And Sony was going after him. There's a big legal thing. Yep. Supposedly this sparked all of the them getting hacked by this group.
Yeah,
they one of the reasons.
This is one of those who knows the real reason as to why it happened.
But it's one of the things cited as for they
like, oh, you're going after GeoHot? No, thank you.
Yeah.
By the way, he was the one who hacked. He also was the first one to jailbreak the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And then when iOS 3 came out, he jailbroke that. And the day the iPhone 4 came out, there was a picture that he sent out on Twitter of the phone jailbroken, and he goes, "Wasn't that hard." It's just a picture of the iPhone 4 sitting there. The day it came out, just sitting there on his counter, running Cydia. No Photoshop, no nothing. He was like, it wasn't that hard. And then shortly thereafter, all the iOS 4 jailbreaks came out. Mm-hmm. He's the one who wrote Green Poison, Purple Rain, Green Rain, and I think he didn't do Red Snow.
No, that was somebody else.
Well, when you think about it, if you were to hold the Social Network movie as your guide to that. I mean, he's kind of the kind of person they would hire at Facebook. He's one of those coders that gets around stuff like that.
Well, I remember, I think he's still doing it. Remember what happened to Kevin Mitnick when he got out of federal prison?
Yeah, he got hired by somebody, and it goes back to that. I mean, this is, they made these noise, made big publicity. Hey, you just created a resume for yourself, wide out in the public.
I am
all
really
over the
stunned
place.
that Apple didn't go after him.
Really?
Oh man, think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what he knows about the underlying basics of that operating system. It is stunning. He knows I know he had the one boot ROM exploit that he was using for himself, and he wasn't giving it to anyone else until I think Green Poison came out, and he let that one go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was all of this, talk that, he probably has a couple more in his pocket. A couple more exploits in his pocket that he found. He's not telling anybody.
He's keeping for a rainy day.
He's keeping it for a rainy day. That's a great pun, Sorg. That was nice. I like that one. Keeping it for a rainy day.
Get it?
And there are two teams of people who are working on this, too.
Mm-hmm.
Dev team, the Chronic team. And both teams are working on this and jailbreaking all this stuff, and he's sitting on the sidelines. In fact, I want to say it was the Chronic team that was going to put out Green Poison. They had a release date, a release time, and all that other stuff. And then he put out Lime Rain or something like that and just blew away everything that they did. Dropped the exploit and everything, and they're like, "You got to be kidding me!" Like it was their golden ticket exploit that they knew about that no one else did, and he already had it, and he dropped it and blew away 4 months of work for those guys.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's the person. If I'm Apple, that's the guy I would have hired.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Apple and I want to keep super tight control on my operating system and I don't want to let anybody jailbreak, I hire that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I want you to fix all these holes. You know about these holes? Find the holes and let's fix them. Go ahead. But I guarantee he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to get hired by that company because he wanted to have the free reign on his phone. And he didn't want to have to deal with it. Whatever.
Speaking of iOS, you guys have both been running the beta, and I know, AJ, you just updated it.
Yeah, I put beta 2 on my phone. I was not really happy with the... By the way, if you ever get into the whole new version of iOS game, you also get into the new version of iTunes game, too.
Yeah.
Make sure that you update your iTunes before you update iOS.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. If you don't do that, you're not in a good place.
No. It'll update your phone. It just won't sync anything over.
Ooh.
Yeah, it won't do it either.
Yeah, so
and there's
all
actually
my apps were
if
gone, and I was mad.
If you what?
Just dump into the
Sorry, Crotch, Rob, right next to each other.
Crotch Rob.
Crotch Rob, hi. This is AJ's junk. Wow, threw my brain off track.
Well, while you're thinking of that, Chilla said in the chat room from our previous conversation, why does Apple care? 1 million plus people are on T-Mobile. That's 1 million more iTunes Apple Store users, which is a good point. That was a number that came out in the last week.
By the way, Chilla, I got a 3GS that's unlocked. Just, if you want it.
I can tell you, I have an anecdote. I can tell you why Apple cares that people are on T-Mobile. Because I know somebody who lives in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma. So she really wanted to get an iPhone, and she can't get AT&T or Verizon, so she ended up on T-Mobile. So she had to get an unlocked iPhone, and then she got herself on T-Mobile. And T-Mobile actually sort of vaguely supports it. So initially there was some issue with the I think the Wi-Fi antenna in her phone or whatever. So she convinced them to give her a new phone. She got a warranty through whatever shady service she got the unlocked iPhone through. And then she just has this notoriously bad service. So she calls up T-Mobile and says hey, a lot of my friends have T-Mobile and they're fine, and I have terrible service on my iPhone. And they said, yeah, sure, we can totally fix that. If you just want to call one of our iPhone technicians, it'll only cost you $40, and they'll talk you through how to use this thing in the Cydia store to get better reception on T-Mobile. That is why Apple really cares that T-Mobile ends up with people on the iPhone. It's all about controlling the experience. So right now, she's I was talking to her yesterday. She's I hate my iPhone. It's the worst thing in the world. No, let's straighten this out. You hate it because there's no Apple store nearby to take care of your troubles. The nearest Apple store is 6 hours away.
Yeah, that's the other problem with the...
Yeah. So it's tarnishing the Apple name because she's on T-Mobile.
Mm-hmm. That's one more person to complain about. They can't do anything about. That
Actually, Apple really doesn't care. It may be tarnishing their image, and I know it's all about their experience, but that's a million more people that they don't have to totally support.
Yeah,
if they're getting money.
But a disappointed person is 100 times louder than somebody who's really thrilled with their service.
Also true. So, hey Rob.
Yeah.
You want to send me a text real quick?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
So iOS 5, the beta 2, they changed the way they obviously changed the way notifications happen in the store. But one of the things they changed was how it shows up on your lock screen, and I don't like it.
Okay.
And I wish I could turn it off or at least change how it does it. But Rob is about to send me a text, and hopefully it doesn't have any dirty words in it. So it puts up this full bubble, right?
Yeah.
That I just ruined. There you go. Right? So it puts up the big bubble, and then it puts it up there as like a little thing here. And by the way, this is a slider, so you can unlock your phone up here and go straight into the text message.
First, apologies to our audio only
Yeah,
listeners.
apologize to the audio. I'm apologizing to the audio listeners, of which I'm usually one. I'm actually demoing this on a camera. I feel like I'm Steve Jobs. So
it places it under the time, is what you're saying.
Right, it places it under the time. The issue that I have with it is that it puts up the big giant bubble on the screen, and I don't like that. I wish I just got that.
Does that only do it on locked, or does it pop up? It's not popping up like that when you're in something.
Yeah, so, Rob, go ahead and send me another text there, guy.
Okay.
So, when you're not locked...
like, say, open up Words with Friends, maybe.
I'll open up Reader.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead. So, I'm reading a nice little story. So it pops up at the top there.
Yeah.
Right? And it stays there. And, I'm going through my stories. And then it just goes away.
Okay.
Which is nice. And then on the drop down, it shows it there.
And you can pull up that drop down you just did from any application. Right.
This is just a straight swipe down from the taskbar.
How does that work in say games or other full screen apps that don't go taskbar?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm trying to think of one that I have. I have 5 Angry Birds on here. Let's open that up.
Because that's my concern is does my Angry Birds get interrupted?
By the way, dear Rovio, what's with this 1 level per day crap? What's up with that? That's not cool. I don't like that. Nobody likes that. I don't know what you're holding back on. I already downloaded the whole game. Clowns.
I know Berg Baby was complaining about it because she's like at some pool party or something and it's like, really, this is going to last me the next how many hour or whatever that she needs to
right. So Rob, go ahead and send me another one. So I'm playing my Angry Birds.
All right, go get that summer level there. There you go.
There's summer levels.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one yet.
This is the first one.
Oh, okay.
So it's nice.
Waiting for that text. All right, it pops up. That's cool. I'm still playing. It doesn't affect what's going on.
I'm still playing the game, right?
Because, and it works out. Down. It works out.
I can still swipe down. Now, here are the really nice parts that I really, really like about the Beta 2. This is one of the things that's really nice. They added your upcoming events for the next 2 days as calendar in there.
Really?
Yeah, so go ahead, flip back that shot.
Okay, going back.
So there are my upcoming events. So I got to take the trash out tonight, and I'm going to the gym tomorrow, and I'm doing the AwesomeCast right now.
Yeah.
And then I have a calendar invitation down here that comes up in my calendar as to, what do I want to do with this? And this is an event with some friends of mine. But it comes up as an event of something that I can do, but it shows up in my calendar in here. I'm really sorry I'm not jailbreaking anymore. That was one of the things that I was still considering jailbreaking for, because I really liked having my calendar and being able to see all of my events on just in line, and I didn't have to go into my calendar to see them. Battery life markedly improved in Beta 2. Rob, I don't know what your experiences have been with Beta 1.
I am, the general, from what I've read online and my experiences, it seems like Beta 1 just has some optimization things that are missing.
Yeah.
Like little things where it's loading and unloading content, things like that. Where like if I made a phone call, I could probably do it right now. No, I can't. If I made a phone call and I was on the phone and then I went and I did something else, I would open phone again and you would see that like the name of the person with grayed out buttons, which is what you would see when somebody hangs up.
Yeah, it's
like still be there for half a second.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot better. This is a lot smoother. Mm-hmm. It's really they did a lot of things to smooth out issues. One of the other things I did was I turned off local weather, which is usually it's a really nice feature, but really annoying when your battery is dead. So
I should also
it works really well. I mean, it picks up a lot better than the Android device that I had, which by the way I sold on eBay for $5 less than I paid for it.
Tell me the thing you told me about today on your calendar.
What about?
About you wanted to come back to the show today for.
Oh yeah. I actually put tonight's show in my calendar a month ago when I got my Android device. As this is the end of my Android experiment, and I will tell you my findings. It took 2 weeks, kids. 2 weeks. 2.
It ended with the beta announcement.
It did. It ended with the beta. No. It ended with. Yeah, you're right. It did end with the beta announcement. It did. I swapped it out the day of.
What'd you have there, Rob?
Well, I just wanted to say generally because the release notes for Beta 2 are especially scathing because I think at this point it is easy enough for people to get the beta on their devices without knowing a whole lot. Like you used to have to be a developer or like a high level geek to figure it out. Now you can be like a mid-level, like snotty teenager geek, and you'll be able to figure it out without like paying a developer to add a UDID to make it a approved device. You can make it work, but it's one of those things where, like, I work with software, AJ works with software, so we understand beta means that don't bet the cow on whatever's on your phone because it might not be there tomorrow because it's beta. It's not finished, not finalized. It's a risk that you take. But if you read the release notes for Beta 2, they explicitly say, do not put anything important on your phone and do not put your backups in the iCloud and expect them to be there because we will be periodically wiping the servers clean.
Because they're still figuring it out. They're putting this beta out because they're trying to make sure the iCloud works before they unleash it on millions.
PhotoStream is actually really, really cool.
Oh, yeah?
By the way.
Yeah,
it is instantaneous.
That's that thing where you take a picture,
and
you
immediately
load
shows up on the other device.
on iPhoto.
Yep.
Or
on your other device. So it shows up
thing.
on my iPhone.
We talked about this before the show. Now, app purchasing had an interesting flaw for you.
Yeah, so app purchasing, when you buy an app, it will automatically install on your other devices.
iPhone, iPod.
iPad,
I'm sorry.
And
iPod, yeah.
So any iOS device, it shows up. So here's the really fun part. My fiance bought an app to test out, which required me to be on Wi-Fi to download it. And it wouldn't stop telling me that. And it killed my battery.
Ooh.
It just kept asking me, even though I was hitting cancel. It was literally flashing like a heartbeat. It was going like... It was like canceling itself, and I was hitting cancel, and my phone got really hot, and my battery dropped by a lot. And so eventually I just connected to Wi-Fi, downloaded it, and then deleted it. That's how I got around it. But these are the sorts of things that happen. And I hope that... you got to remember that it will do that.
And then this could be an early thing, and they could give you options when you buy them. Like,
I most certainly hope so.
I would think the smart thing would say I got Justin TV app, and it pops a dialog. Do you also want it on and list your devices that are registered? Maybe.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Because you are legally allowed to have 5 devices on an account.
Something like that. I
think it makes more sense for you to have say you and the wife have iPhones, you have iPads, the kids have an iPad, something like that. That could get so unwieldy if you're buying games here and buying this for the wife and buying it your wife buys these are out there. Your wife buys a period tracker or something because you're trying to get pregnant, and it just popped up on your kid's iPad.
Yeah, that's awkward.
That's a little bit awkward. Daddy, what's this?
Can we? There's also the let's say you were a senator or something. Your name is Wiener, and you took some pictures on your on your phone.
Those will show up in photo stream.
And it would just show up in your photo stream.
Wow.
Well, let's say you had that photo stream running on your Apple TV.
Yeah,
Whoops.
that happens. You can do
That's-
that.
Wow. So this could sync also with your Apple TV.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I
There's
guarantee that's
yeah, and
gonna happen.
this is one of those things people are not going to understand. This is kind of one of those out there concepts, thinking outside the box concepts that the typical person buying an iPhone and everything are not going to understand, and they're going to wonder why their kids are getting their naughty pictures they're sending to their
The
girlfriend.
problem is you can't delete from the photo stream, which is really annoying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I have a picture in there that I deleted on my phone, but it's not deleted out of my photo stream, and I can't go in there. And
I've also had, that's something else I wanted to mention. Somebody sends you a picture via text message, in iOS 5 Beta 1, at least. If you save that picture, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It disappears into the ether. It's kind of annoying.
They fixed a lot of things that were breaking other apps though, like TweetDeck that I have on my phone.
Yeah.
I also noticed
Didn't work.
it seems like apps are having, like, they changed something in the way that it's reading its Wi-Fi or internet connectivity. Because a lot of the apps that I used, like, suddenly were having little heart attacks saying that, like, you're not connected to the internet.
Safari was doing that for me, so Apple apparently didn't fix their own apps. But yeah, it's a really a far better version, and people should be really excited. Speaking of updates to mobile OSs, I read a review of Windows Phone 7.5, the Mango update.
This is the Mango, yeah.
The Icy Light Mango update.
I had one of those the other day at a tailgate.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it disgusting? Like I think it is?
I heard it's pretty good.
You know what? I was drinking a Mountain Dew. They were like, oh, you should try the Mango. It'll go great after that Mountain Dew. And it was actually okay for that. It's not something I would drink on a regular basis.
I want to just get one.
We just turned into a different kind of show.
And I just want to try it. Just one. Just one Icy Light
yeah,
Mango.
you kind of have to.
I like really good beer, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you're like, really? How bad could this possibly taste? So, yeah.
It's
But
not bad.
speaking of battery life,
Yeah.
some kids, some scientists at the University of Minnesota have created what they call a phase-changing alloy that generates electricity from excess heat. As in, this piece of metal gets hot, it gets magnetic, and then that magnet is then used to generate electricity. As in, your car's exhaust could charge the battery of your hybrid and thus get you further along the road. Or say the alloy is made into brake pads so that when you stop, your electric vehicle is charging your battery. Or say the exhaust from your laptop. That metal on the heatsink could be used to charge the battery of your laptop or your phone. Or there are a lot of uses here. And I thought it was really, really neat.
Neat.
I'm sure that's like 20 years out from.
It's a couple of years out.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few years out. It's something that the military has been playing with for a while. And there's also I forget what it's called, the law of power consumption or something like that. That basically says that, like, you cannot, like, say you have a device. Say you're going to do the example of powering your laptop off of the heatsink attached to your laptop.
Mhm.
Because of the way physics works, that will never be an absolute solution. You'll still have to plug it in at some point.
Right. This is for, partially charging.
Yeah.
This isn't, running
This
your laptop
is for
isn't going to
when,
be
especially we're talking about combustion engines or hybrids, whatever.
This is for reducing your lack of charge.
Reducing the wasted energy that goes off, because you only get a certain percentage of the energy from a combustion engine used in the car, and it's just wasted. And
but this is still something.
It gets it back a little bit, it reduces it, makes it more efficient.
Yeah, which could also lead to, if you can build this into battery technology itself, you end up with, like, lithium-ion batteries that last for years instead of weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I get really weird here?
Do I get to keep my pants on?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Hey, let's do it.
Advertisers have been trying to advertise the humans for years, and now they're trying with monkeys.
I like monkeys.
So what they're doing, researchers from the University of from Yale University, found out that given limited resources, certain monkeys act like humans and will do certain things for said resources. Money, bananas, whatever it is.
Are we sure this isn't promotion for Rise of the Planet of the Apes?
No.
By the way, I love the picture on this article.
Yeah, that's a great picture, by the way.
I was going to say, it's definitely in the picture.
What are those monkeys doing?
What they're doing is they're going to make 2 foods and just make them different colors. One, brand A, will get advertising. One, brand B will not. Brand A's advertising will feature the alpha male of the group just hanging out with this food like, hey, you want to be the alpha male? Eat this food. And the other will have a female monkey, genitals exposed, just hanging out, saying, hey, eat this food. You'll get this body, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's what that is.
And I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking to myself, hey, isn't this how advertising for people works, too?
Yeah.
They have some cool guy hanging out with, like, a Miller Lite. And if you want to be this cool guy, drink this Miller Lite. Hey, you want to hang out with these hot chicks that are, like, pretend lifeguards that are supposedly saving you from bad beer? Drink this Miller Lite. How is this different?
It's not.
Instead, they're just gonna, instead of having, like, you know, this fake premise that you're being saved from bad beer, they're just gonna have female monkeys just genitals out.
Wow.
That's how this works, apparently, in the monkey world. It's a cutthroat advertising business in the monkey world.
Wow. So speaking of monkey genitals.
What could possibly come after speaking of monkey genitals?
Speaking of monkey genitals, Google Plus.
Oh, hey! It's effectively the same thing.
It is actually. If you, I don't know what the legitimate address for Google Plus is. I'm looking at google.com/intl/en-us/plus/learn-more/index.html. I don't know how you get there. I googled, so figure it out. But there's a lovely graphic at the top that could be misinterpreted as genitals. More importantly, Google Plus, Google's competitor Facebook. How about that business? Anybody pay attention to this at all?
Yeah, I saw this today. It looks like Facebook. It talks like Facebook, but it's just another thing that people are trying to make like a Facebook-like thing.
Yeah, it's got a lot of
neat features.
Yeah, it's got a lot of neat features. There's some things about it that basically this will be successful if they can make it ubiquitous, which is always the problem with social media stuff.
No. This will be if it doesn't suck out of the gate.
Yeah,
which is what Wave and Buzz did.
If the Google engineers got to keep their hands out of the UI design, it might actually be okay.
If the Google engineers kept their hands out of their pants, it'll probably be okay.
Oh boy!
So, what is it? I mean, this is Facebook for the Googleverse, right? I mean, is that how they're pitching it?
Yes, but the problem is
what it looks like.
The problem is that this thing, Google Plus, doesn't talk to anything. It's just like Buzz. It's just like Wave. It doesn't interface with all the crap I have.
Wait a minute. Does it have anything to do with the Google Plus Up system that you're seeing everywhere now? That's like the light.
Yes,
like
it does.
Yes, it does.
Plus one. So
yeah,
this does have a little bit. They have a start of it.
What they've been talking, what this whole service is generally designed to do is unite a bunch of crap that Google already does. Mm-hmm. Like their video and audio chat that they have in Google Talk is now in here. And the various things that they have, like what Buzz was, where you have like a feed, and these are all your people, and you can have circles, which are
called circles, as we're seeing on the video here.
And you can have these people, and you can add them to these groups, and you can send things to these groups. So now you're getting into the group messaging, like Beluga.
Everything obscenely close up on this video
because they want to make sure you're seeing crap and epic bros and.
There's also some there's some weird things to it. So if you actually listen to the voice over the video, so
this seems far too simplified.
It's almost that it's overcomplicated actually, because what they want you to do, they want you to organize your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is something that, the voice over the video, for the video, is essentially somebody saying, sometimes somebody wants to be your friend, and you gotta ask yourself, do I have room in my life for this person? Because, people have a lot of friends, so you're like, do I have time for another person that I'm gonna have to send a Christmas card or whatever, and things like that. And so Circles is almost like forced segregation of your friends. They want you to quantify, like, these are the idiots. These are the acquaintances. These are family. This is crazy family. They want you to attach labels to everybody, which I think is kind of a weird approach. But so I think big game plan wise, like, this is evolution of social media and all that. Because you go back to, like, MySpace and Bebo. Bebo, that's a thing, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Back in so that was a thing where you had to sign into it, and that's where it was. It was that little, like, nest on the internet, but it didn't talk to anything else. And then Facebook did a pretty decent job with the like button, where now, you know, every article you read and everything, you can share it, you can like it, you can do whatever you want. Same thing with Twitter. And so this is basically Google's version, like AJ said, of trying to pull all of those resources into the same place. And it has some cool stuff, like Sparks. So Sparks is kind of a cool thing. I think Sparks is probably the most useful thing out of it, which is, so one of my biggest problems with lists on Twitter is that they're one way. You can follow a list, but you can't tweet to a list. Like, I follow a lot of people follow me, but not all of them are from Pittsburgh, and not all of them really care that there's, like, a fire down the street. Right. I want to be able to tell just the people in my Pittsburgh group that, hey, there's this thing happening. It's only local to you, so it's only relevant to you. So the idea with Sparks is that you can divide the people that you talk with online into these groups, and when you, like, post something, share something, like, as if you had a blog or something like that, or a Tumblr. A Tumblr is pretty good comparison. You can say, only send this thing about bikes to people who I know already know and enjoy bikes. Things like that.
But this is where I still come back, where there are people who have Facebook, there are people who have Twitter, and they have people that they want to talk to in their lives, and this is just another thing that they now have to manage.
The only way,
if they had a way to just link it in, and Facebook has a poop load. I had to think of a naughty word for that.
I'm pretty sure we can say poop on the show.
Okay, good. A poop load of APIs to get your stuff into Facebook.
Yes, but they can turn it off any day, like they did with Ping for iTunes.
Right.
Yeah, so,
but at the same time, they can. Hey, this is something that if they wanted to, they could go to Facebook and be like, "Hey, we're doing this thing."
But Facebook does not have to say yes.
I know.
And maybe they've already had the discussion.
I'm sure they did. Hey, you know who would love? You know who would love this? Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can I still tweet my, like, hey, there's a box of all the thing, you know, there's still a box, there's still an update, status update thing. Boom, I want to say something here. Mm-hmm. Can I send that to all the people who are in my Google list, and I want to send it to all the people who are on my Twitter list, or that are on my Twitter timeline? How is that not a thing? How is that not linked in some way, form, or fashion? It should be. And I want to know how they're going to handle notifications with this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like, I mean, this is, most of this is new. It is like a gathering of things that were, like, here and there and all over the place. But to make room for this, Google did shut down several services, like Google Health was cut, and a bunch of other things that just weren't very popular were cut to make room for this. And this is by no means a full-scale launch. This is not being pushed anywhere except for to the nerds at the moment. I think you can join it. I think it is open join or something. They're currently over capacity is what they are.
Oh, wow.
Because I was going to say, I consider myself a pretty nerdy person, and I had Wave and Buzz pretty early, and I didn't see anything.
Yeah, Wave could have been something cool, but totally wasn't.
Wave could have been something cool. The problem was that it was meant to be real time.
Yeah.
And they didn't build any sort of offline things.
People weren't
into
really
it.
ready for that.
Right.
Oh, I think they were. I think people wanted it. They saw the capabilities of it. The problem is that it was meant for you to sit there and look at it all the time.
Yeah.
There was no notification that, hey, this has been updated. And I'm sorry, this right here, iPhone or Android or any mobile in general, this is where you need to be.
Yeah.
You need to tell, like, I need to be told somehow, an email, a text message, a push notification on my phone. Hell, if that thing runs on the background on an Android phone and sends some sort of notification to the screen that says, hey, your Wave about next week's happy hour is just got updated.
The only thing that makes sense for Wave is if you're in an office environment where I worked, IM did this. This is how I communicate with everybody in the office and remotely. I had an IM, it popped up, there you go, that's how we chat. The only way this makes sense for me for managing projects together and that in the real-time fashion is if I'm living in that all day. Mm-hmm. That is the only application. And there just wasn't much room for expansion. The development community didn't get off the ground. And it's not like they didn't eke it out. It was an invite system.
Yeah.
But it just...
I feel like there's enough
getting it. Go ahead, Rob.
I feel like there's enough of like a whole package that they're putting together with the Google Plus project. They're also still calling it a project, which makes me think that it's like really, really early just for the nerds. But there's enough here that I can very absolutely see every single one of these icons worked into an Android home screen in the very near future.
Or say a Google Plus iPhone app.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's something that eventually they would work in, and eventually they would say, oh, hey, you can share this stuff and its APIs, and they will absolutely have website APIs that probably come first.
That's the only thing I see this thing picking up on is if it works, has to work. Has to work easy. And then they push it to you on your Android phone, on the Google homepage.
You know what?
Like they did Chrome for how long, and look how well they're doing there.
You know where this is gonna hit? The people who are sick of Facebook.
That's it. There you go.
Right here.
There's
a lot of people ask the question, like, when is Facebook going to die? And the thing is that Facebook is not going to die until people have a compelling reason to move to a different service.
Right. I'm not. I haven't been on. I deleted my Facebook account. Haven't even tried to look at it in 6 months. And even when I get links to things that are on Facebook, and you'll see them like fb.me, I don't even click on them because I can't get to them because it's always some like, oh, click this link and go to this, and then I have to like sign into Facebook. I'm like, I'm not signing into Facebook. I don't want to go to your stupid link.
Funny coincidence. Hey, Mike, do you use Chrome?
Yes, I do.
Have you tried to use the latest version of Chrome with Facebook in the last week?
Yeah, it's been kind of a bear lately. I can't look at my
kind of broken, right?
You
can't look at your notifications or
that's interesting. Yeah, you can't to do the drop down. It won't load stuff from notifications from the drop down. It takes forever to load pages. I have been wondering what's going on. I've noticed some tweets about it from other people, and a lot of my work is on Facebook for communities and stuff. What's going on, Rob?
First of all, if you are a conspiracy theorist, not you, Mike, the general public, the people listening to the show, if you're a conspiracy theorist and you think that Facebook is broken on Chrome because Google is launching this, I want you to punch yourself in the face because you're wrong.
By the way, I did say, never mind. There was a pun in there and nobody caught it.
And
if you're a conspiracy theorist, and we know who you are.
We know who you are. We know you people. So the other end of this, also in the past week, there's a rumor spinning up that Facebook is teaming up with the Mozilla project to create a. They are teaming up with. Remember Rockmelt and how much fun we had making fun of Rockmelt?
Yeah,
I got an invite to that and I never used it.
It's so awful. But there's a rumor that they're teaming up with the Mozilla project and Rockmelt to make a awesome Facebook browser type thing. And so the other end of it is that Facebook has poisoned the well, and they are making it so their website does not work in Chrome very well.
Yeah, that's
and guess
honestly, what happened is
Google
updated their browser, and Facebook stuff isn't compatible with it. So deal with it.
Okay, so Facebook's got to play catch up.
Yeah, Facebook just doesn't catch up. Okay. It happens. It's web compatibility, folks. It doesn't always work.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. I'm starting to see this whole like thing. Facebook is, and rightfully so, they're trying to take over their own little world, and they want their own app and their own stuff to get to it. Like this web browser. Fun news that came out today, or it was either today or yesterday, that Facebook tablet app, first one, going to be on the touchpad, not the iPad.
Really?
Yep. No Facebook app for the iPad yet, but the touchpad's going to have one day one.
How does that make sense?
So that
I'm certain HP paid them a poop load of money.
Wow.
But I will say this: I'm really interested in the touchpad. I think this is the legitimate contender to the iPad.
It looks interesting. We talked about that a few weeks ago.
It's got its stuff together. Although I will say this, Apple did a very nice job of getting their crap together with notifications quickly enough that they.
So you think they finally saw a threat?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first one. And by the way, the person who is in charge of now Palm, and by the way, I'm using air quotes because Palm's dead. R.I.P. Palm.
Yeah.
Who's in charge of the touchpad and the pre-operating system at HP?
Mm-hmm.
It's John Rubinstein, who developed the original UI for the iPhone and iOS. So this guy knows his stuff, and he knows what works and what doesn't, and he's a smart guy, and I'm really interested to see. I really like the web OS. I think it's a great idea. I really wish their hardware didn't stink. I'd love to pick up a Pre 3 and test drive that little guy for a while. If you're listening, anybody out there, AT&T or Verizon, whenever the Pre 3 comes out, slide one my way. You won't, but hey, offers on the table. And I really think that people are now starting to pay Facebook to get those privileges.
I can see it.
I really do. That Facebook is now big enough that people are now paying Facebook to get like, oh hey, we want to make sure that we're the first ones on the block with Facebook app or with a Facebook application.
One last story. We got to get out of here pretty soon. But one thing we can't kind of deny because it's made so much noise in the last week. Of course, it was released last Tuesday. Final Cut Pro X.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah, it's been making a lot of noise because a lot of the video professionals are not quite happy with it.
You're not happy with it, are you?
I haven't played with it yet. I almost threw down for it, but I that whole can't open the Final Cut 7 projects because I wanted it immediately for a project I was having a problem with technically, and one of the features in there I thought was going to solve my problem.
But because you can't open the original
But because I can't
project.
open the project, I would have to rebuild it from scratch. All of the templates from this, I'm looking at like my old job, I do not understand how they're going to upgrade. I mean, fine, tracks and everything are dealt with differently, but having to go from old projects to this, there's no reason to upgrade it.
There was talk that this was originally called, or that somebody called this Final Cut. This should have been the new version of Final Cut Express.
Yeah.
And not Final Cut Pro.
Because, well, the thing, basically the gist of it is it's 64-bit from the ground up, of course, because they built it,
Brand
seems
new.
like, from iMovie. You open it up, it says import an iMovie project, not import Final Cut 7, not import your project, import your video.
I think that those will come with software updates, and it will be, and there are people who are looking at this, and even the people at Apple were saying, look, this is the beginning, not the end.
Yes.
And we want to make this is effectively, it's a complete rewrite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing as going from OS 9 to OS 10.
A lot of this is a side effect of them waiting so incredibly long to do this overhaul.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen a big update.
The last update was a joke. The last Final Cut update, it was only $9.99. It wasn't like the $1,200-$1,300 that it usually is for the full suite, and it was obvious. They didn't even really update Studio Pro or Compressor. They didn't really this time either. It's nice you can get it for just $50 versus whatever, or Motion for $50.
You can also pick and choose.
Which is kind of nice.
In the past, if you wanted Compressor, you had to get Studio, right?
And you know, I can tell you personally, Keller is useless because you have to learn it from the ground up. It was something that was imported in. It doesn't translate well or import well from the other programs. Maybe somebody that's more into the video and understands Keller would fight me on this, but for us, with our uses in a development house, it just did not work for us.
But this is also like, I mean, if you have, like, for how long it's been in the dev cycle for Final Cut Pro, if you have Adobe Photoshop 7 and you try and update to CS5, it's going to blow your mind and nothing's going to work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to be apologetic on Apple's behalf because there's a lot of basic things that are a little kludgy and things like that they should have warned people about or should have given more of a heads up, or I feel like it should have spent more time in the lab, but it's definitely something that's going to be fixed over time, like AJ said. Yeah.
They say stuff like multicams coming back, some of the support for file types that it doesn't support, like it doesn't support RED, the new RED cameras. Which are big high-end cameras.
Yeah, which you don't have.
Which not like I have a RED camera, but still, that's something in the industry.
What about oh man?
Does that mean it's time to end the show?
No, I just got a text message.
Oh.
there was a Conan O'Brien parody,
Yes.
which I thought was amazing because this is not a piece of software that really anybody knows
This isn't
about.
iMovie. This is not iMovie.
I mean, this is their high-end video software. And Conan O'Brien put together a sketch or a little comedy parody bit about Final Cut Pro, which made me laugh because, like, the way they did it was like a high school movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything was cut really poorly and everything like that. They're like, hey, the new version of Final Cut Pro is great. And then it goes like somebody else talking.
Now,
I feel like another part of the problem is that, so like, yes, they mishandled a bunch of stuff and it doesn't seem like it was quite finished, but at the same time I feel like we're seeing Windows XP versus Windows 2000 backlash where people are just like, oh, there's too many fancy buttons and I can't seem to get anything to move right because it doesn't look the same.
It changes things. I watched a little bit of tutorial to it. It is, I was talking to my one friend that works for PXI and he says it's a shift. It is a shift in how you edit. And it's not track based. It's, they describe it as a spine. If you're used to track, you set things on top of each other, it's layered. This is, you put something in, you have to make a blank slug to make your open space if you have to put something in there later. Like everything just goes along a spine. There's no gaps. It doesn't allow you to do that. It's not, because, you know, case in point, you would have that problem where you had that extra footage you put at the end of the line. Maybe it was a bad practice. But then you'd have this big gap, forget about, render out this hour-long video when it was really supposed to be 5 minutes, because you forgot that footage was all the way out there. This isn't going to happen with that. Everything's visual and connected. It's just a different way of thinking about putting video together. And it needs to happen at a certain point. If this thing, I'm going to buy it, I will buy it. Probably within the next month, not right away. I'm not looking to move over to it, because if I can't pump out projects quick with it, that doesn't work for me as a freelancer. But it is something that I think is going to make sense, especially with all the color, the syncing, the other features in there that would make things easier over time once I get used to it. So on that note, we got to wrap this thing up, guys. AJ, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, no problem.
Thanks for giving us an update on the beta, the newest beta.
Yeah, it's nice. And more than happy to come on the show, and hopefully you'll invite me back some other times.
Sometimes.
Never again.
Man, I'm out.
Rob, thanks for joining us again. I'm glad you left your clothes on this time.
I try. I'll be naked next week.
Okay. Promises. Check him out, robjdlc.com. And hey, next week, guys, we do have a guest that's scheduled to come here. Charles Kim's going to be joining us of Geneva Mars. That is an Alpha Lab company. We've talked to a few of those before. I checked out their site to check out what they're doing. Meet Zachy. He's a robot. There you go. They're doing, it's a fun educational cartoons and games since last Monday is their pitch here. So go check that out at genevamars.com, and we'll have them in here, and we're probably going to have him using that spiffy show-off cam we were using for AJ's beta show-off last week.
Right up there.
You gonna point?
Yeah, it's there. It's right there.
So thanks everybody for joining us again. If you want to join us live, we're here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern at live.sorgatronmedia.com. Follow our Twitter at AwesomeCast. You can also contact us at AwesomeCast at or contact at awesomecast.com. I have to get these things synced up. 72425-ACAST if you want to call us at 724-252-2278. And you can find us on iTunes, Mediafly, Roku, Boxes, Blip TV, YouTube. Please leave comments, subscribe to us, everything so you don't miss an episode. And some other places coming soon as we get the word handed down here. For Rob, AJ, and everybody in the chat room, thanks. You guys have been awesome. Have an awesome week.
I'ma crush it. Call me the golden boy.
I'm Anthony Walker, and this is Unsung, the nonprofit news magazine show that features news and events from our nonprofit community and also the good things that you do. You can also check out previous episodes and our Unsung Uncut series on pittsburghonvideo.org.
Nerd to the club and you know how we do. Handful of cash and a couple of brews. So many women, so little time. Gotta find a
Power Rangers are available on Watch It Now on Netflix. So that's...
Hi, this is Sorg here. A special report for Chachi Says. Of course, I'm on the opposite. The crotch.
This is golden stuff. I mean, you could chop it. Look at that.
Yeah, seriously, this is AwesomeCast Gold right here.
I still haven't posted the extra stuff from Mayhem last week.
Gold edition.
Did you catch when we were trying to
No.
adopt the TNA wrestler?
No.
Oh, we started singing at the end the Sarah McLachlan
the
song.
Sarah McLachlan song
amazing.
was out of control.
It was amazing.
That had me in tears at work. I'm sitting there at my desk going like this. Oh, shit, this is funny. This is fucking fun. But I'm sitting there at my desk like, no, I'm not crying. No. No, tears of joy. Like, no. My eyes are down. Oh, my God.
Arms of an angel.
For
You know
just
how
pennies a
hard?
day.
How hard is that to keep in sync over Skype?
Really hard. It's hard to do anything in sync over Skype.
I know. But
That
we
fucking
always
delay.
insist on singing on that show.
Now that Microsoft is...
Now the Microsoft's spying on you.
He'll fix that. They'll fix that.
No, they won't. They're gonna
No.
put spying in that shit. It's gonna crash every day. I can't. Somebody's
I love
gonna
that
come
I could keep drawing this joke out. So they're going to put out a commercial. It's like, all those other video conferencing apps, they make it so like you see other people and you look into the camera, and that's just a big waste of time. You shouldn't have to spend any time at all looking at other people because that's...
Oh,
Do you use Skype?
Just
Do you
like
enjoy
Windows
talking
Mobile,
to
you don't want to
people?
look at your phone.
You.
Hey, is that chat room readable over there? I know it's smaller this week.
It's a bit small,
There's a little bit of a size issue on that.
but
monitor.
I can see.
The word of the day.
I can see it. The word of the day is boner. Yes, that's
Okay,
yeah. I
okay,
can
that's
read
good. That's good. That's a good start.
I can read
That's a
that.
good start.
Hey guys. Hey team. Let's get started.
Hey, hey, Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hey,
Mike.
hey,
Mike.
hey.
Guess what the primary display on my desk at work is right now? Balls.
Is it a CRT?
It's not a CRT.
Is it an iPad?
It's not an iPad.
Is it a 30-inch Apple Cinema display?
Nope.
Projector?
Uh-uh.
He's got this little grin like he's gonna blow our minds. You have a Commodore 64 right now, don't you?
No. It is a 55-inch Samsung LED TV.
That is quite the sizable monitor.
3D. It's huge. It's gigantic.
You.
AwesomeCast, you would know that Android is not an open platform.
If you were a listener of the
Hell?
AwesomeCast,
Where are you? What is
Where am
going-
I? Oh, hey. Hey, how's it going? Hi.
I think we should let Rob open it with that shot. Rob, you're opening
Hi
with that
guys,
shot.
welcome to the Awesomecast.
All right, let's go. Let's
What
go.
are
Let's do
you
this.
doing? Okay,
I have 20% battery life.
you can see it behind me.
So I had to...
Peekaboo. Oh, hello
No, we're
there.
rolling with this. We're rolling
Don't
with
mind
this.
me. I'm just
All
hanging
right,
out behind the
we're rolling
CRT
this.
monitor.
5, 4. Hey guys, I just choked.
You want to try that again? Big gulp.
Swallow first. You should know that by now.
All right. Time
That's
out,
not safe for cable access.
silence. Cone of silence.